I'm back with another book review. আমি গতবার যে বইটা পড়ছিলাম ওটা ভিডিও করতে গিয়ে রিয়ালাইজ করছি যে পুরো কাহিনীটাই আমি আসলে বলেছি। দিস ইজ নট what I want to do this time. যে আমি আসলে এই ভিডিওগুলো থেকে কী চাই is that I just want to have something to look back at so that I can remember I read this book and how it made me feel. So I was supposed to do it way more regularly, but I couldn't because, of course, I'm just lazy. I really am very lazy. That's it. বইটা আমি পড়ছি. It's called Born a Crime. It's by Trevor. So I really like Trevor Noah's humor, and he's a South African born and brought up comedian. অনেক বছর পরে আমার কিন্ডলটা আবার I got it to work. Also এই কিন্ডল কারণে জামা পড়েছি কারণ অনেকগুলো ওয়াশিটে বাকি ছিল. I just wanted to use it. It doesn't look as good. আমি probably এটা খুলে ফেলবো. Anyway, I love the book. অনেকদিন পর আসলে আমি বইটা পড়ছি that I didn't have to force myself to keep reading page after page. আমি ভাবছিলাম মাঝখানে এই কোর্সে শিখবো জানুয়ারিতে। আমি চেষ্টা করেছি একবার শিখতে, 2 দিনের মধ্যে আমি গিভ আপ করে দিচ্ছি কারণ পেশেন্স নামক বস্তুটা আমার জীবনে নেই, যেটা থাকলে আমি আসলে জীবনে অনেক উন্নতি করতে পারতাম। এনিওয়ে, আবার রোজার মধ্যে আমি একবার চেষ্টা করছি এবং এবার দেখেছি যে একটু একটু হচ্ছে। তো যাই হোক, এবার আমি পুরো জিনিসটা নিয়ে একটু কথা বলি। তো বর্ন আ ক্রাইমের কনটেক্সটটা হচ্ছে যে ট্রেভার হি ইজ আ মিক্সড কিড, মানে আমরা মিক্স বলি বাট ইন সাউথ আফ্রিকা আই থিঙ্ক ওদের কালার্ড বলে বিকজ হি হ্যাজ আ হোয়াইট ফাদার অ্যান্ড হি হ্যাজ আ ব্ল্যাক মাদার। সো that sounded weird, but I guess you get what I'm trying to say. He's born a crime. এই কথাটা এই বলে হচ্ছে কি সাউথ আফ্রিকায় during the apartheid there was a literal law that prohibited children born from a white parent and another black parent. So he was literally born a crime. বইটাতে যেটা সবচেয়ে বেশি ভালো লাগে it's very frank. It's and Trevor নিজেকে নিয়ে খুব honestly লিখে ও ছোটবেলায় এত দুষ্ট ছিল. He was really naughty to the point of nightmare. পুরো জিনিসটাতে his mother takes up a huge space, right? I thought I would get to know him better, but in the process of reading the book I fell in love with his mother, Patricia Noah. He was born in 1984 and তখনও হচ্ছে অ্যাপার্থিডের লাস্টের দিকে নেলসন ম্যান্ডেলা তখনও he hadn't come out of the jail, and while he was growing up তখনও actually apartheid ended officially. যে কথাটা বলছিলাম যে Patricia Noah, you fall in love with Patricia Noah. She is such a strong spirited woman and you couldn't stop her and to run away from her home in search of a better life. She did do it, she did find it. মানে পড়তে পড়তে পুরো টাইমে যে fighting against এরকম একটা সমাজে she never let her situations define her. She defined the situations herself. And আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে পুরো টাইমটা পড়তে পড়তে যে whoever Trevor is today or however he thinks, most of it is thanks to his mother or the environment he grew up in that his mother made possible. Stories are really fun. মানে it doesn't, এটা তো আসলে historical কোনো book বা context হিসাবে না, but you still get a picture of a guy growing up during apartheid in South Africa. Also their schooling systems. Another thing that I really liked about the book was a child who has like মানে যে কোনো জায়গায় belong করার একটা the identity crisis of this kid. Identity crisis bolte the fight for trying to belong somewhere, right? So he মানে ওর যেটা সবচেয়ে বড় struggle while he was a kid was that he is neither black, he is neither white, and he is neither mixed. He starts off the book with a context of saying যে কিভাবে South Africa had 5 or 7 times the population of the people who were oppressing them, but it took so many years to get rid of apartheid simply because of how divided they are. And but it just gives you it just makes you think that it's a story all around everywhere. Other stories gulo onek moja lage. So his mother is a really God-fearing woman and she was very adamant about taking him to church. A related onek funny stories ase. He learned a lot of languages, like অনেকগুলো tribes আছে and each of them have their own languages as well as English and Afrikaans নামে মানে ওদের যে ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটা, সো অনেকগুলো ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ and he picked up a lot of those languages. And also ও বারবার কথা বলতে থাকে ওর মায়ের কথা যে how his mother also made sure that he was equipped with the resources he need. ওইরকম কথা বলে যে ও যে ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজেসগুলো শিখে ওই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজেসগুলো শেখার কারণে he had the ability to communicate in a lot of places. At the বইটা পড়া it was surprisingly enjoyable. I also clipped a few things. So he had a very eventful একটা life. মাঝখানে he talks about his realizations. So and like এত সিম্পলি বলে এই জিনিসগুলো খুবই ভালো লাগে, যেমন I highlighted a few sentences or that he talks about the hood, like his group of friends and environment গুলো growing up. এই জিনিসগুলো gives you a lot of perspective. And talks also about the cycles of outgrowing places that you need to, অথবা there were places for some people who have no option to get out of, but it gives you a lot of perspectives in general. আমার কাছে খুব মনে হয় যে it's very well explained. I think it's a good read. You should read it. It talks about a lot of realizations and about comfort. He talks about how comfort provides a floor but also a ceiling. So he did not grow up with his father around because of the situation. At পর্যায়ে he does end up meeting his father, who is a Swiss guy. He did not meet his father all this time because of all the restrictions in the society of the policing and everything. And when he met his father after growing up, he was not as much of a big name. However, he had some things published to his names. You know, his hosting here and there. He got to a situation where he was wondering about his dad, and he went and met his father, and he had been wondering all his life, like maybe his father has forgotten him. And he went on and met his father, and his father had this collection of all the things that had been published under his name. So his father had been following his progress all along. After coming out of his father's house, after meeting his father, he says that I walked out of his house that day an inch taller. And there are some moments like this in the book where it has not happened to me in a while, where I just read that and I need to absorb this. So, and these are really moments of another person's life, right? So I always believe that most of us have such a wonderful story. A lot of the times, the wonder of the story lies in the storyteller, and this book made me feel like that again. So there goes review number 2, Born a Crime by Trevor Noah.